The Tommy Campbell Show. Donald Trump snaps at another reporter, guess the gender, and his prayer breakfast speech is raising questions and getting reviews so bad it's now competing with the Melania movie. California Governor Gavin Newsom called Trump's speech at the prayer breakfast an absolute fraud and disgrace. And The Guardian actually had to issue a formal correction to its Melania review, not to fix a typo, but to remove a 1-star rating. They claimed it was a formatting issue because the reviewer's actual intent was to award 0 stars to a film he described as dispiriting, deadly, and spectacularly unrevealing. Apparently, the computer literally didn't know how to process 0 stars. It just couldn't fathom a movie this void of a soul.
It soared past expectations, bringing in more than $7 million at the box office in its opening weekend. Now, that is the most of any non-concert documentary in a decade. Now, legacy film reviewers were so certain that it wouldn't do well, they would be wrong. Emily, my mom went to this weekend in Florida. She said not only was the theater packed, it was, standing room only if you could try to sneak in the back of the theater. People were cheering through it. They were excited. It was interactive. People interplaying with the film. She said it was just electric. Electric.
If 7 million is a victory, the bar wasn't low. It was in the Mariana Trench, and the carbon fiber unregulated sub just imploded. Kaylee isn't just spinning, she's redefining gravity. She's trying to convince us that a movie that lost 68 million in its first 3 days is a cultural movement. While Trump is posting in all caps about a record-breaking smash, the internal data suggests otherwise. This film had a $35 million marketing budget. That's 10 times the amount spent promoting high-profile docs by proven filmmakers. So it's fair to ask, was that money for ads, or was it a slush fund used to buy up empty seats to manufacture the illusion of a hit? Box office analyst Tom Brugman flagged a massive unexplained surge in ticket sales, a hallmark of coordinated astroturfing, where third-party groups dump millions into bulk buys to goose the opening numbers, like I noted with the RNC doing with the book buys for Don Jr., Eric, and others. An analysis of 1,398 screenings across 329 U.S. theaters on Fandango found that exactly two screenings were actually sold out. Kaylee even claimed her mother saw the film in a theater that was standing room only and electrifying. Theaters do not sell standing tickets. Come on, if you're gonna lie, make an effort. The real world data shows that in almost every major city, the seats were so empty you could hear the individual bubbles popping in the Diet Coke from the one crazy guy who bought a ticket or thought it'd be funny after a bag full of edibles. Hey, we've all been there at some point. Subscribe. In Bakersfield, California, the local GOP reportedly bought out an entire 7:30 p.m. showing, yet only 14 people actually bothered to show up. They were Trumpers with tickets, and they'd rather stay home. In markets where the GOP doesn't have the bulk buying machine, such as the UK, it opened at a humiliating number 29, with some London theaters selling literally 0 tickets. In Australia, it came in at number 31, and I love that. What everyone is missing about the group buy scam isn't just the empty seats, it's how it actually hurts the movie theaters. Cinemas don't make their real money on tickets, they make it on the 800% markup on popcorn and soda. When a pack buys out a theater but nobody shows up, the theater owner is left with a sold out room on paper but $0 in the register. The administration that claims to be pro-small business is forcing local cinemas to host a vanity project that actively prevents them from making money. They get the Trump's record-breaking headline to electrify the smooth brainers. The theater owner gets an empty lobby and a stack of bills. One of the greatest bits of this flop was the Lake Theater and Cafe in Oregon that had the movie pulled by Amazon after putting on the marquee, "To defeat your enemy, you must know them. Melania starts Friday." Despite the controversy, the theater's manager, Jordan Perry, defended the decision to show the film, citing humor and financial considerations. Not all heroes wear capes. We love you, Jordan. The $35 million marketing budget was less about getting people to see it and more about creating the illusion people were going to see it. These cinemas are going to be stuck with piles of Melania popcorn buckets that will have to be shipped overseas, like the loads of never-worn Patriot Super Bowl LX hats. Go Seahawks.
Something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel
you are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. She's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile
Well,
on your
I'm asking
face.
you about survivors
You know why?
and
You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth, and you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you.
I gotta say it again, just once can we have all the reporters kind of stand up for each other here and call him out for behaving like this? I mean, this is a very disturbing trend of him snapping at female reporters who dare to say the name Epstein. Just a few months ago, he snapped, "Quiet, Biggie," at a Bloomberg reporter on Air Force One for asking the same thing. He keeps claiming the files prove his innocence while simultaneously doing everything in his power to keep them redacted. The latest February dump reveals the DOJ received over a dozen tips regarding his and Epstein's alleged conversations about virgin girls. He went from snarling at Caitlyn for not smiling while she's asking about child sex trafficking survivors as if you're supposed to be super happy about the subject, only to show up at the prayer breakfast as if he's the nation's moral compass. But he's not praying for the country. He's praying that the DOJ Sharpie holds out for another 4 years so the public never sees what's under those blacked out witness interviews.
This moron, no matter what it is, we could put them all together. I think, Mike, what would you say the top 5 things? Name them. We'll put them in one bill, and we'll put them before we'll get 100% vote, except for this guy named Thomas Massey. There's something wrong with him.
Yes, Trump just called Massey a moron and said there was something wrong with him at a prayer breakfast. Okay. For those not aware, Massey is currently the lead sponsor of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which aims to release unredacted logs that mention everyone from Howard Lutnick to Elon Musk. Attacking the guy on your team that's trying to expose sex traffickers while standing at a prayer breakfast is nearly a confession and a clear signal to the GOP, don't touch the Epstein files if you want to stay on the blessed list. On the surface, the National Prayer Breakfast is supposed to be Washington's most wholesome tradition, launched by Eisenhower and Graham in 1953. Back then, it was essentially a prayer sausage fest. Basically, just a bunch of dudes in wool suits eating tubular meat and talking about how to use God to fight unions.
In 2025, more copies of the Holy Bible were sold in the United States than at any time in the last 100 years. Now, how about that?
I'd be more excited if he said encyclopedia sales were through the roof. And investigations revealed that thousands of his $60 patriotic Bibles were printed in China for roughly $3 a copy. The same country he's currently hitting with 60% tariffs for stealing American jobs. Now, I took the time to update his Bible commercial for truth and comedy.
I'm proud to be grifting with my very good friend Lee Greenwood in connection with promoting our Let's Scam the USA Bible. This Bible is the Bankrupt the USA version and also includes my depends, yes, the constipation, which I'm drinking prune juice for very hard to keep my golf pants protected. Also the Gotta Scam the USA Bible, and it's very impotent, infected, and tiny. I want to have a lot of people have it. You have to have a hazmat suit for the tiny mushroom. Many of you have never read and only watch Newsmax and can't see in front of the window you're licking. Now I'm a swindler. Religion and Christianity should be the last thing associated with me. And I truly believe that you will buy this book and you will buy this book fast. I think Ivanka's the hottest daughter I have. That's why Melanie is going AWOL. She's the second hottest in our family. I kept lots of top secret documents in my home. Many. I'm a dirty crook. I'm a lot of people's favorite crook. This Bible is a reminder that I'm a fraud, so don't ask questions about my favorite passages. Because I only read Penthouse. Penthouse is so terrific. The sores are so stinging. You know, I called them my personal Vietnam. So tough. On the end, we do some nitrogen treatment on the sores with Dr. Ronnie Jackson. I even asked Elon, you know, he makes the rockets and the Tesla. I said, can you come up with a cure for these things? Something, please. Funnel all the dose money to my tiny mushroom sores. Steven Seagal, Under Siege. Remember Erica Aleniak? That was so hot. We love her, and we have to peddle anything that is pro-God. We must defend God in the public square, and that's why I'm hoping Steven Seagal can join Rudy Giuliani and Ali Bahaba to defend him. We have to bring insanity back into our lives and back into what will be a deplorable nation. My white-robed slumlord father did a tremendous thing when he gave me millions and taught me to have zero morals and wear foundation. Signal group chat. Bobert is at the door. What can we do? It's theater playtime. Everyone out of the room. Beetlejuice! Again. I'm proud to endorse and encourage you to get this grift. We must make Ivanka post again. Photos, good stretching, some yoga, and send them to me, and I'll find a totally quiet corner of Mar-a-Lago where I hit some documents and swipe through Signal and make myself feel great again. I live for money, golf, and pool pictures of my favorite daughter. Tiffany doesn't cut it, and Alina Haba is decent to look at, but she is very special. In a Mike Lindell, you know, the lumpy pillow guy, and an Eric, get the golden turd tongs, I need help, kind of way. Spread Trump's absent values with others. There you have it. Let's make Ivanka post again.
Just so you know, I do all my dubs here, old school, no AI, just my impressions. Now, while Trump was behind this reverend at the prayer breakfast who spoke of families preparing to bury their loved ones in Minneapolis, the very people he pardoned continue to commit crimes, such as Jake Lang, who vandalized an impressive memorial for dead citizens.
President Trump, we support you. We support ICE. Our country was made for Americans, not for Somalis.
Idiot.
Pro-ICE, baby! America first, America only! We'll see you here, February 7th, Saturday, 12 noon, outside the Minnesota State Capitol.
Well, I'm not sure if you're going to make that appointment, Jake. You know, it sucks seeing things destroyed, but it is amusing when you see this hard-right gravy seal struggling to pull it off. I mean, good thing he's got no balls, because he certainly would have nutted himself right about there. This wasn't a random ice sculpture. It was a $6,250 commissioned memorial unveiled by the veterans group Common Defense. It was meant to protest ICE actions under Operation Metro Surge and serve as a memorial to Renee Good and Alex Preddy. After Capitol Security watched the whole thing on live monitors, troops pulled him over and he was arrested. He claimed he was exercising his First Amendment right to artistic expression. Like, where is that? Is that in the MAGA dictionary under free speech? It means you had to smash a $6,000 memorial in green camouflage in a snow-filled city? What are you doing? Lang's currently booked in the Ramsey County Jail on a felony charge of first-degree damage to property. So again, not sure if you're going to make that protest. But the other thing these window lickers are protesting is the halftime show at the Super Bowl, and Kid Rock is headlining a Turning Point USA alternative halftime show because the administration has labeled Bad Bunny, a Puerto Rican U.S. citizen, as un-American. They are so desperate to get viewers that they are putting out AI images promoting the show with the Rolling Stones and Metallica on them because even they know Kid Rock isn't a massive draw and the rest of the lineup aren't even has-beens. They are nobodies. The Super Bowl is watched around the world. I saw it in a theater at the O2 Arena in London. Do you really think that all these screenings and bars and pubs and packed Buffalo Wild Wings, you know, at halftime, they're going to be like, wait, we have to change the channel to the alternative show, you know? I'm not denying that some may want to see Kid Rock, but he's not on the global scale that multiple Grammy winner Bad Bunny is, and Bad Bunny is also an artist that actually writes his own work, while Kid Rock's biggest songs were samples of huge bands, some of those bands featured in those AI posters. The thing is, the Rolling Stones, U2, plenty of bands from abroad have done the halftime show with zero pushback. This isn't about music, it's about skin color. Watch whatever you want, but the majority of people aren't going to be fiddling with the remote unless it's to turn up the volume. It's the Super Bowl. At the least, the halftime show is on in the background while you top up the chips and salsa and freshen up the hot wings and ribs. That's what I'll be serving. Teams get to go to the White House when they win. I think during a Trump administration, this should be flipped. You should have to go to the White House if you lose. That's real motivation. Do you want to stand behind a dictator filling his diapers? No? Then take this ball to the end zone. And while the Canadian government was busy trying to navigate Trump's tariff threats, Conservative MP Jamil Javani decided to pull a solo mission to Washington. Javani isn't the trade minister or even the official trade critic. He's just a backbencher who thinks his Yale Law yearbook is a diplomatic passport. Giovanni and JD Vance have been best friends since law school. Giovanni wasn't just a guest at his wedding, he was in the wedding party and read a Bible verse at the ceremony. Giovanni had no power or actual reason to be there and acted like he was saving the day by grabbing a selfie with the very administration that's trying to cripple multiple industries in Canada. Giovanni wasn't there to build a bridge. He was there to audition for a job in a 51st state that doesn't exist yet and never will, showing Canada that his bromance with the guy liner wearing couch pounding VP is worth more to some MPs than actual Canadian sovereignty. We should all tip little Tommy so he has enough money to finally stop making this liberal junk. Oh, I love this plan. Send Tommy that spare right-wing cash you have to own the libs. Come on, get on that. Stop spending money on no fear shirts, my pillows, and Trump sneakers, and throw a bald lefty a few bucks. This is a great plan. I appreciate everyone that tips me what they can, as I do make this show on spec. I'm here because of you. So I find it hilarious when MAGA thinks getting everyone to give me a couple bucks will pay me off, make me go away, when the truth is it would only help me keep delivering this independent comedy show. MAGA tears. If you can't even spell the First Lady's country of birth, you should be making fun of her. I took my family to the movie and we all agreed it's a walk of art. Walk of art sounds like it's some cheap and greasy Chinese you find at the Dirt Mall food court. And it's a review of the Melania movie. Put that on the poster. Walk of art. Is the apostrophe button broken on your keyboard? Because they are as absent as Trump's tax returns and his school records. Like, it took me a second because I have to get into the mind of the stupid. But you actually think I tried to spell Slovenia and ended up with two words, Slovenia, when I was just mocking the fact that your pedo president calls her home country that, a place I've actually been to. Yes, I was doing shows in Zagreb, Croatia, and the promoter had to fly me into Slovenia, and then I drove across the land of Melanie to the gig. MAGA tears. Box office analogist. Theaters do not sell standing tickets. Like, come on, if you're going to lie, make an effort. The real world, it's my weekly trouble with ours. 7 million is a victory. The bar wasn't just low. It was in the Mariana Trench and the carbon fiber unregulated sub just imploded. The imploded sub looks a bit like Kristi Noem's face. On the surface, the National Prayer Breakfast, they're going to be stuck with piles of Melania popcorn buckets that will have to be shipped overseas like the loads of never-worn Patriots Super Bowl hats. Savage. Go Seahawks. I can confirm the Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube. And I hope you subscribe.